Hello everyone. So, quite a while back, I won a giveaway from Stargirl Beauty, and they were a bunch of sheet masks and some other miscellaneous things. Um, and she challenged whoever won to use a sheet mask every day. Now, I don't think I'm going to post a video every day of my sheet mask, but I will film it. I just might not post it consecutively. I forgot what I was gonna say. And I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about myself and such through these, about my cats, just stuff like that. Today though, I'm going to kind of vent, because I just kind of need to. It's kind of negative, so if you don't want to listen, you can head out now. But I just need a vent, because right now, the year has not started out well for me. So yeah. But the first mask I'm going to be using is this Cucumber Ultra Hydrating Essence Mask. Oh yeah, I'll show you what my face looks like right now. So maybe we'll see a difference after my last one. But yeah. So this is a very, very wet one. And definitely smells like cucumber. And way too big for my face. Usually these are kind of small on me. But anyways, so I haven't been on much, missing a whole bunch of videos, like watching them also, and just putting some out. I don't have very much motivation right now, but today I'm feeling a little better, so I figured I'd do some videos. So the year started off really crappy. So my brother's friend, who's like a little brother to me, they grew apart during high school because they went to different high schools. But they recently reconnected last year, or was it the year before? I'm not sure. But anyways, when we were younger, he was always at our house. He called our mom too, and he was like a little brother to me. Well, he got into the wrong crowd. And on New Year's, he was found in his room, passed out and not breathing. Now, we finally figured out what it was. It was just a multiple things trying to, like, his parents were all, freaking out and trying to deal with focusing on him and not what happened. So, but we finally figured out what it was, what happened, and it was that he was hanging out with a bunch of friends, and they were doing coke. And there was probably alcohol since it was New Year's, and energy drinks. That combination is a no-go. And they just left him on the floor. After it happened, they just left him. They didn't tell his dad. They didn't call 911. They could have done one of those things. There's laws where if they call 911, they won't get in trouble unless they were the ones who gave him the drugs, like dealing it. But they don't even have to say that. And they could have left right after calling 911. They could have at least told his dad instead of just walking right out on him, passed out on the floor. Well, some of his other friends came over also, and they're the ones who found him on the floor. They went and got his dad, and he wasn't breathing. Don't know how long he hadn't been breathing for, but he was unresponsive, of course. So he went to the hospital. And what really pisses me off is that because of COVID, his parents weren't allowed to go in and see him. Now, I believe that if they were there with him the whole time, by his side, encouraging him, giving him hope, he might have made it through it. But he didn't. Because of COVID, they couldn't be in the hospital with him. Now, later on, they were allowed to. I don't know whether it was just some nurses pitied them and knew that it'd be better if they were in there with him, or if they fought it and were finally allowed to be in there. I'm not sure. But they're finally allowed in. Like 4 days after he was admitted to the hospital. Now, him being alone in the hospital, listening to the doctors, probably with negative news, saying he's probably not going to make it, probably gave him no hope. And so he could have just given up because of that. Who knows? But when they're finally able to be in the hospital room with him, he squeezed their hand. And they told him to do it again, and he was responding to verbal cues. And the nurse, they did it in front of the nurse, they showed the nurse, and she wrote it down in his charts. The next day, they were going to be doing a brain scan, since he hadn't woken up and such. He hadn't been breathing good for such a long time, and there was no brain activity. So that was hope's dash, kind of, after getting slight good news of him squeezing their hand. But after that, not so much. We still hoped they were going to do another brain scan just in case, since he had been responding good to them. But he still had no brain activity. And then finally his organs were shutting down because of it. And they finally took him off life support, and he was breathing on his own for a little bit. But again, his organs were failing him. So it was just pretty much leaving him to either starve to death or just pass on his own and such, with his organs and his brain and his heart just going out. And the next night, he passed away. And it broke us. It, really hit us hard. He was a good kid. He really was. But, he got into the wrong crowd. My brother has been beating himself up because he thinks, if only I was there, he could have done something. But the thing is, I'm glad he wasn't there. And it sounds horrible saying that, probably, but the reason is because he is not good with peer pressure. I wouldn't have wanted to take the chance of him doing coke also, and that also happening to him. Because I feel like he might have done that. He knows you shouldn't, but PJ probably knew too, and he probably would have done it. So I'm glad he wasn't there. But part of me also wishes he was. A big part of me wishes so that his friends that were with him were decent human beings, but they weren't. They were pieces of trash, and they just left him like a piece of trash on the floor, passed out. So, his parents are going through a really hard time. When I first found out that he was in the hospital and he probably was going to die, I bawled my eyes out with my mom because she's the one who told me. I heard her downstairs crying. Like, I wasn't sure if she was crying or not, because sometimes it kind of sounds like laughing, if you know what I mean. But, so I was going to be getting dressed soon because I just got done with the shower. And then I hear her stomping up the stairs, and I can tell she's definitely crying at this point. So I hurry up and get dressed, and she tells me, and then we both cry. And I haven't cried like that since he's died. I don't know whether I'm in denial or what. It just... Hold on. Cats are being bad. But anyways, I don't know. I feel bad that I haven't really had the emotions gone through them like my mom has, like my brother has. It's just, I don't know. Yesterday was the visitation, and because of COVID, there couldn't be a lot of people, and the funeral people were like, go in, say your whatever you have to say to the family, and get out, basically. So there's that. So that was annoying too, because it's like they have a screen up with PJ and pictures of him, and I wanted to look at them, but I decided with my boyfriend that we'd head out first so other people could go in. My mom and my brother and his two friends that went also, they stayed in there for a little bit longer, which I feel like they have the right to. PJ called my mom. She was a second mom to him. His mother thanked her for being a second mom to him. And that made my mom cry more afterwards. My brother, they were like brothers, and then his other friend, they were like brothers too. They were like the three amigos. They were always hanging out together, and then they finally reconnected. They went to 3 different high schools, but they still reconnected. And it just sucks. And yesterday, I feel like I was in my anger stage of grief, because I was just so angry at the hospital, so angry at his so-called friends that left him on the floor. I was angry at the funeral people. I was angry at him. And I feel terrible being angry with him. But I'm angry with him because he just left us. He should have known not to do it, but he did it anyways. And I feel terrible, but that's how I was feeling yesterday. Today, I'm kinda, I don't know. I don't know. I have cried a little bit, but mainly it's just like tearing up because other people were tearing up and such, or just talking about it makes me tear up. But I haven't actually cried. And I feel like it's going to hit me out of nowhere at some point. And that's why I haven't been on much. I I just don't have motivation right now. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. So yeah. But anyways, I think it's been the amount of time that it says to have this on. So I'm going to probably get going now after I said all that. But I was originally going to make a video asking for prayers for him when we found out that he had squeezed their hand and such, but then the next day he had no brain activity. But I didn't make that video. I don't feel like it probably would have made a difference, but it could have. There have been miracles. But yeah. So I hope y'all are having a good day, and I'm sorry if I made your day kind of worse, but I haven't really talked to anyone about this. I could talk to my boyfriend and he'd listen and such, but I don't know. Talking to people is hard for me, but it's not as hard online, like, if that makes any sense. So I needed to vent, and that's what I was doing today. I'm gonna make some more videos. I'm hoping I can get my energy up a little bit so I'm not so depressed. But I need to focus on something else and not just sit there doing nothing, thinking about it, because that just makes me sadder. So, anyways, again, I hope y'all are having a good day. This one just jumped in my lap. She's in a playful mood and did not like being held. But anyways, again, I'm getting distracted. Bye. I hope y'all have a good day. Bye. Well, actually, I'll take this off first. So, this is what my face looks like after the first sheet mask. I do feel more hydrated. It's going into my skin pretty well. But yeah. Again,